Hi, I'm Sean Prestridge, Senior Field Applications Engineer for IAR Systems. I'd like to take a few moments to show you the IAR Systems Embedded Workbench. For this particular demonstration, I've chosen the Embedded Workbench for ARM. When you start up the Embedded Workbench, you'll see this information center that displays. In the information center, you have quick access to help you get started. You have access to the user guides as well as example projects, which I'll come back to in a moment. We also have a link for integrated solutions, which are middleware and RTOS components. This link provides you quick access to our partners so that you can download examples to use these middleware components. We also provide tutorials as well as a link to show you how to get access to support both by email and also by phone, as well as release notes for this particular component. Finally, we see the My Pages link. This is where you can download the latest updates for your tool as well as transfer your license to colleagues. I'm going to go to the example projects, and you can see that for the ARM tool there are many different semiconductor companies that are available. Just as an example, I'm going to choose the Freescale parts, and I can look at the Kinetis evaluation boards. And if you scroll down, you can see that there are many different example projects that are available to you. If, for example, I want to use this GPIO project, if I click on the link, you'll see that there is a dialog box that pops up. The purpose of this dialog box is to ask you where you want to copy this particular example project. I'm going to choose the My Documents IAR Embedded Workbench directory. What this allows you to do is to play with the example project, and if you get things completely messed up, you still have the original example project in the toolkit installation directory without having to reinstall the toolkit. So if I rearrange my windows just a little bit, you can see that over in the workspace window I have three different projects that are available. There's a GPIO for the K53, the K60, and the K40. I can tell which project is active because it's in bold print. Similarly, I can select different build configurations by clicking the drop-down window. You can see that for the K60 tower there are three different build configurations, one for RAM, one for the 512K P-Flash, and another one for the 256K P-Flash. For right now, I'm just going to leave it at the RAM. Inside of the project, you can see that there are folders. These are what we call groups. Inside of groups, we can put individual pieces of source code. If I expand the pieces of source code, I can see the header files that are associated with that particular piece of source code. But I'm going to collapse this for this particular moment. The nice thing about groups is that it allows you to arrange your code in a way that makes sense to you, but it does not impact the way that the compiler compiles the code. The next important thing are the project options. I can get to the project options by clicking on the project and then right-clicking and choosing Options. You can see that there are many different options that are available, and I'll quickly show you some of the more important options. From general options, you want to choose the target that matches the one that you have. For this particular example project, the correct device is already selected. You also have quick access to MISRA if your company is interested in using MISRA C. Inside of the C and C++ compiler category, I can choose between C and C++ and also the language variant that I want to use. Also importantly are the Optimizations tab, where I can select which optimization I want to have for my project. Under the linker, I can select my linker configuration file. Under the debugger, I can select which debugger I have connected to my particular board. Also, I can check to make sure that under download, if I'm downloading into Flash, that I have Use Flash Loader selected. Since I'm going to be downloading into RAM, I do not need this selected. I also have the option for Verify Download selected. Also, under my individual debugger, there are custom tabs that I can use to control the way that the download and debug sessions are done. In order to start a debug session, all I need to do is to click on the Download and Debug tab. But before we do that, we want to actually look at some of the source code. If I double click on one of the source code files, it opens up that piece of source code. You'll notice over in the right hand corner there is a function button that lists all the different functions that are available for this particular piece of source code. I'm going to choose the main function, and when I do, it quickly takes me to where main is defined. If, for example, I see something inside of the source code that I'm not familiar with, I can right-click on it and choose Go to Definition, and it opens up the source code file or header file where this is defined. Once I'm satisfied that I know what I'm doing, I can click the Navigate backwards to get to where I was. This makes it very easy to navigate around in the source code. In the next part of the video, we'll actually do a download and debug so that you can see how the debugger connects to the board and also how to operate within a debug session.